Domination. That's one word that completely describes week 2 of VCT Stage 2, where we saw some of our most brutal matchups in our group stage. With only 2 weeks left for the seeding matches, a few of our teams are making it abundantly clear that there's still competition in the Americas regions, and there's still something to prove. Let's get into it. So, we start Thursday with the first match of the day being EG versus Leviathan. Evil Genius versus Leviathan. Lev is heavily favored coming into the day, and rightfully so. They won a major previously this year. And these favorites are going against a team that didn't win a single game last split. EG went 0-5 completely last split. Although they look much better this split, getting the better of a slow-rolling Envy team that we'll talk about later, Lev won both maps, split and sunset 13-5 for it to be a victory. There's not one person on this Lev team I could point out that did super amazing. There's no one star, no one golden boy. They're all consistent. They are all consistently amazing. They're at that trophy level, a trophy winning level that they need to be, and it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary going into the third week, right? On EG, Zerona not having the most impressive day. He has the worst stats on the team. He's kind of struggling with the role he's been given. I believe he's the brand new IGL on Evil Geniuses. Moving on to our next match of Thursday, we have MIBR taking on a 0-1 Envy. Like I said, they were struggling earlier this year. They have been since their ascension. They've been very hard pressed to stabilize with a lot of roster movement. That's hard to grow. It's hard to grow upon. MIBR take a commanding 2-0 victory, one step closer to playoffs, and maybe proving their super team that's been constructed may not be a fluke. After their insane reverse sweep that was dealt by Energy, I mean, they're kind of being questioned. Why are Zekin and Aspas and some most champ winners on that team if they're not going to win anything, right? But they're stepping one step closer to showing everybody it's not a fluke, right? Some notable players to watch: Rossi and Demon One proving so much as they can that they deserve to be on the highest stage in Valorant. But the rest of the Envy roster is lacking extremely, especially Kesnet, which is hard to say. But Kesnet is completely fumbling. He only dropped 9 kills in the 2 maps, which is a startling stat. Especially when you know he played insane on our crew team not even a couple years ago. This team might benefit from looking to the future of the esport rather than pulling players from the past, right? Like Demon One, although Demon One is paying off, and Kesnet is not. Now, I think they should start looking to start trusting the rookies a little bit more, giving the rookies a little bit better chance. I think that's what NRG benefited off last year. That's what 100 Thieves is benefiting off of now. It's what all of esports is benefiting off of, is looking to the rookie class. I think that could benefit Envy and a couple of other teams that we'll talk about very much, right? Even potentially taking advantage of C9 dropping their shining rookies that they've been dropping to bring back Vic, right? I feel like they've made pivotal mistake in that, and I feel like Envy could really benefit off of taking that, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. On the side of MIBR, everyone's performing at a high level. Again, they made a change up from last week, where they just seem to be crumbling and not on the same page on map 2 and map 3. But looked very much more together. Yes, it is an easier team, but these easier teams are good practice to be able to practice comms, practice being on the same page, practice strats, the basic fundamentals, making sure they're rock solid, and they absolutely were, right? MRB are not quite out yet, not refusing. They're refusing to quit. Absolutely. And this is going to move us into Friday's matches. We started with what should have been a banger of a match, NRG versus Furia, which it kind of looked like it was going to be in the beginning. We got the reigning world champs versus a Furia team that came out swinging at the beginning of the year, but has fallen pretty short recently. NRG just coming off a staggering reverse sweep from MIBR and a second place at EWC. Playing at a very high level against a very good 100 Thieves that we'll talk about later. And Furia off the back of a brand new roster changes. Calm, who was from Leviathan, went back to EG, piloted an EG team that went 0-5, famously known for winning champs with Prime Evil Geniuses, stepping into an IGL role after this disastrous 0-5 season with his old team, stepping in for this Furia team in this split too, and it looked promising. It looked absolutely promising in the first half of Breeze. Calm was running his strats, his shenanigans like he used to, his flanks, his crazy timings. It didn't matter who it was, whether it was him or whether it was somebody else on his team, and Koalanu kind of showing up for the defense half, going up 8-4 against the reigning NRG champs. But NRG come in with their famous resilience, their absolute resilience that helped them last week, that helped them this week. Keep it close and win in overtime, 14-12. Kiko looking extremely amazing on that jet. Mata settling into that, really settling into that harbor role every week as he keeps playing the map. Right, and this next map is interesting, and it's EG's map pick. So you would think they would pick something that they were comfortable with and avoid at all costs the new map Summit, but they gambled on Summit. It's a huge gamble considering we just slammed MIBR on it last week to finish the reverse sweep, but and the gamble was lost. The gamble was completely lost after a dominant 10-2 half from NRG. Furia fake a comeback and lose 13-7. They get a few rounds in there, a pistol round, moving forward, moving Furia to 0-2 in the group stage. They have to play completely perfectly to be considered for playoffs. It's a shame that team it's a shame that team is not doing more this split. Our last match of Friday gives us 100 Thieves versus Crew. And what an insane match that was. 100T off the back of their first international win looked confident and dominant, winning their match last week, and it showed in this match. You want to talk about playing easier teams and how that just grinds fundamental and grinds being on the same page. This team was on the same page. Their first map, they won 13-0. It's something we haven't seen in Americas or in the esport at large, rather, since it was happening to 100 Thieves back in the days of Hiko 2 or 3 years ago that put Hiko into retirement. And this team absolutely looks insane. Absolutely looks insane. They closed the second map out a little bit closer, kind of shaky at 13-10, but definitely are showing the world that they are here to stay. EWC wasn't a fluke. The rookie class is showing out. Absolutely. Proving that they're here to stay in Timotito and Vora, right? And this brings us into our Saturday matches. To start Saturday, we've got G2 versus Cloud9. Cloud9 also having historically having roster issues, not being able to stick with anything solid. They've this year has constantly been plaguing them. They've just been back and forth on their roster, like dropping Vic, bringing Vic back, losing Zeppa, losing Mitch, bringing in Noted being gone already. It's just back and forth. And G2 being the regional merchants that they are, took a commanding 2-0 win with everyone struggling immensely on C9 except for Oxy. I have here the really sad tweet from Oxy here. He says, 0-2 at G2 Valor. I don't know, not much to say. We just suck. I'm going to bring up the stats for that game right here. And this will show you what I'm talking about. This is a record of all the maps. And Oxy just barely going negative, just under 4. Vic not doing too much worse at under 7. But the rest of the team down double digits, almost going double negative in the field, including new IGL Zelsis, who was supposed to bring something new to the table, supposed to bring a new plan to the table. And there's a video circulating, I might put it up on the screen, of him saying it's his way. If they're going to lose, it's his way. And they are losing his way. There needs to be a change. And speaking to Oxy, I think it'd be wise for him to seek a better contract. Yes, Sam stayed on NRG for all 5 years, and he eventually found a champs. But C9 are not making the right decisions when it comes to this roster. They're not asking Oxy. They're not. They can't stick with a coach. They can't stick with an IGL who can actually stick around long enough to form a team. Oxy has got to jump ship, I believe. There's much better places where he could foster a crazy run, right? It's just a shame to see. Moving on, second match of Saturday comes with Sentinel versus Loud, both previously successful teams. Very quiet this year, though. Sentinels have been seeming to catch stride with their new addition of Jerwin. Redux kind of finding his move, finding his his movement, finding his groove inside of VCT, right? And John QT bringing these rookies where they need to be, right? Notably, John QT, the guy I'm talking about, the IGL has come back this week after an emergency surgery and seems to be doing absolutely fantastic. I'll bring up some of the stats from him here in just a second. Versus Loud, absolutely staggering. Had the most kills on the team for both maps. It's really nice, right? Sentinels take the 2-0 win, taking them to 2-0 in the group stage, right? And now we get to Sunday's match. Sunday's match gives us some repeat teams from earlier in the week, some people that played Thursday, starting with Lev and Envy. And there's not much to say about this match. Lev is still in trophy winning form. Like I said, all 5 of them playing very consistently, playing exactly how they need to play, and they stomp Envy 2-0. This Envy team is just not doing anything. Our second match of the day brings us to MIBR and Furia. I'm kind of going to skip through this because these last 2 are stomps. This is one of the more close matches of the weekend, right? But MIBR take both maps too. It was very close, showed promise for Furia, but MIBR just the stronger team right now. Next week is where we'll see some of the most pivotal matches taking place, notably Lev versus NRG. That one specifically is going to be a banger, not just because I'm an NRG fan, but because it's 2 Titans going at it, specifically to decide who's going to be on the bubble and who's guaranteed for playoffs. So I think this one will go 3 maps, but ultimately, as a biased NRG fan, I believe NRG will take it out, although it will be a very close match. It could go either way. We've got 100 Thieves versus Sentinels. This, once again, is another match pivotal in who's sitting on the bubble and who's qualified, right? I think after 100 Thieves showing the past few matches they've played, I think 100 Thieves are going to win, but it's about 60-40. The Sentinels team is catching stride in there, catching it fast. And lastly, G2 versus Sentinels. Once again, this will either put Sentinels at the bottom, and they'll be out of the tournament if they lose to both 100 Thieves and a G2. But it's a good decider, and I think that one will be more close than the 100 Thieves game. So all these bangers coming up. Now, if you enjoy this video or have any feedback, please leave me a comment. Also, something you should know, I watch party all of these games on the Purple app. It rhymes with rich. YouTube doesn't like saying the name and promoting that app. But if you'd like to support me, please subscribe and go check out my Purple app page. Go check it out. Come pop in for a watch party, especially if you like the information. Come watch it with me live. See my live reaction, right? Happy games. Good morning, afternoon, and good night.